Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Maverick Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Ashley, and it has been a while since I chatted with you, and I'm really excited to be back on the mic. I'm even more excited to be sitting down or standing up or whatever I darn well please after I had back surgery in December. So this is actually the first episode that I'm recording post back surgery. I believe the last episode that I published for you, I was laying in bed still with my herniated disc recording from my bed. So I'm back in action, and I want to just give you a little bit of a life catch up and some lessons and things that I've learned that apply to business throughout this challenging time that I'm really actually thankful for. And not to be Pollyanna, because I certainly was not in the best of spirits for a good 6 to 8 weeks there. But now that I've come out of the fog of pain and of the acute part of recovery, I've really been able to realize that this season of being forced to slow down has actually been a really good thing for me that I not necessarily needed to happen, because it definitely could have done without it, but I'm glad it did because of the lessons I've learned. So I always try as much as possible to take the things that happen in life inevitably that suck, because that's a part of life, and figure out what can I learn from this, how can I grow, and then ultimately how can I share this with someone else, with my audience, with my clients, with my members, with my daughter, with my friends, in order to help them to feel encouraged as well, to get a different perspective. And so that's sort of what I'm going to do today. So if you're not really into the personal catch-up type of episodes, this one might not be for you, but stick around because maybe it'll be what you need to hear today as well. So truth be told, I still haven't fully gotten back into a groove post back injury, post surgery, but I'm not feeling stressed out about it. I know that that will come back. I definitely had in my mind that I was going to have the surgery to take out the disc that had herniated and was sitting on my nerve root and causing all kinds of havoc. I thought that I would just recover and be great and out walking my 10,000 steps again, and all my productivity and my creativity would be back, and it would rush back into action, not just physically, but I mean also mentally. But that didn't happen right away. But it did two things. One, it made me feel extremely grateful for the business model that I have that doesn't require me to show up with my full creativity and productivity in order to maintain and even grow. Now, as a business owner, do I believe that sitting back and kicking up my heels and never working again is the business that I want to run? No, absolutely, and that wouldn't work. However, what this has done is to force me to focus on and to only do what's essential for maintaining my business and working toward my long-term goals. It's really made me see what all is extra, and me, for whatever reason or reasons, not knowing when to stop. This slower season, it's helped me to set boundaries that I haven't always had, but I probably did need. I've had to honestly simplify. I've had to prioritize. I've had to focus on the things that really matter. And I think that there's a lesson in that. And honestly, as I'm podcasting here, one of the things that I did allow myself to let go of was recording and editing podcast episodes. I hadn't taken more than maybe a week off of at least publishing. A lot of times I'll batch podcasts all at once, so 4 or 5 episodes all at once, and release them slowly. But I hadn't taken any significant time off from doing anything with the podcast, and I did. I allowed myself to do that because the majority of my revenue in my business is not coming from the podcast directly, and I have such a bank of content here that it continues to nurture my audience and allow new people to find me, even if I do take some time off. However, this is a passion of mine, and this is the way that I love to communicate and give back to my community for free. And so, of course, I'm back on the mic, but that did show me that those weeks when I'm not allowing myself to take any break whatsoever, and I'm focusing on, recording and editing and making all these graphics and whatever I'm doing for the podcast, it's not necessarily something that I have to do. It's something that I want to do. And so I really have a clear picture of what moves the needle in my business as far as revenue. And I've gotten crystal clarity on that. And I'm so excited just for that fact. So thank you, Disc, for exploding, or what did they say? Obliterating out of my back and onto my nerve roots, because this has been really helpful. I've been doing physical therapy, and the purpose of physical therapy is really to rebuild build the mind muscle connection and my core strength from the ground up. And I've admittedly a couple of times had injuries and been prescribed physical therapy, and I've done a couple sessions and then I've stopped. However, I'm not going to do that this time. I've been diligently doing my physical therapy because I want to build a foundation within my body that can sustain the things that I want to do physically. So if I ever hope to be able to lift weights again, I need to have strength and mind muscle connection from the ground up. And I'm treating this season within my business the same way that I am with my body, with the same type of care, and really making sure that all the foundations of my business are solid. If you've been following me on social media, I've been sharing a lot about the Maverick Society membership and how I'm working so hard behind the scenes on making the processes smooth, on making the core curriculum and the brand builders roadmap that my members go through super easy to navigate, super easy to figure out where you are and self-assess where to jump in on the roadmap, have your game plan for each phase of your business and brand growth, and not worrying about creating something new, refining what I have and the assets that I have in my business in the same way that I'm refining the assets that I have within my body, I guess you could say, if that makes any sense at all. Because one thing that we know to be true in all areas is that without strong foundations, any structure, whether it's your body or your business, can get fragile. It can collapse. You know, that whole concept of building a house of cards, and one little false move and it can all collapse. Same as if, maybe your body looks strong on the outside, but your, inner core muscles or your mind muscle connection or your nerves or whatever it might be. I'm not a physical therapist, obviously, and don't have any idea about kinesiology, but from experience, if you don't have all of those things dialed in and you're moving improperly and your muscles can't support what it is that you want to do, you can look like you're in great shape, but you can really hurt yourself. You're fragile. And similarly, with a business, without the foundation of knowing exactly what you're doing and why, knowing your numbers, knowing what's working, what's not working, knowing what to push hard on if you want to grow and scale versus what you can outsource, what you can cut out, that's what's going to make a sustainable brand and online business. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching the way that I do and walking my members through the brand builders roadmap, because that is what allows you to be a profitable brand in 5 to 10 years. And also building a business that can absolutely maintain and bounce back even stronger when life throws you curveballs, because I have definitely had a few curveballs in the last 4 to 5 years since I've launched my coaching business. And I'm so thankful that every time I've been able to bounce back because of the strength of my personal brand and now the strength of my passive income online business model, which allows me to be removed from working on my business all the time and being in the thick of it and really focus on what matters to me most, which is serving my paying clients and being present in my real life with my daughter, with my friends, and my family. So anyway, I'm curious, do you have really strong boundaries for when enough is enough? Or do you, like I have in the past, struggled because you love what you do so much, or you use work to numb out and can't seem to turn it off? I would really love to know that. If you are connected with me on Instagram, let's chat about it, because I think this is probably the first time in my life where I've really been able to have clarity, which interestingly enough, I don't think I shared here on the podcast. Clarity is my word of the year for 2025 as sort of a through line for the way that I would ideally like the year to go. And the problem with words of the year sometimes is if you speak it out into existence, sometimes you seem to get what you didn't really exactly ask for, but it's what you need. And so I'm hoping that I don't get clarity from difficult situations all year. I was thinking more along the lines of abstaining from drinking alcohol this year and wondering how clear my brain, how amazing it would be to have a completely clear brain from alcohol fog, even if it's just a day of feeling kind of crappy. As I've gotten older, I can't just drink a couple glasses of wine and feel good and productive and creative the next day. So anyway, I was hoping that clarity would be more as a result of that. But as it turns out, so far, it's really as a result of being proverbially benched from doing a lot of the things that I previously did. But as a result of that rest and that clarity, it makes moving forward and hopping on the mic here with you and sharing from the heart and things that I really think will move the needle for you, that gets me excited. So anyway, just a quick little short update episode from me. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to connect with you over on Instagram at Ashley R. Latimer. And as always, if you are interested in joining the Maverick Society membership, I'm offering a $1 1-week trial as my gift to you. So if you'd like to jump in there and get some coaching, ask some questions, take a look at my course library. Of course, I hope you stay, and I think it's well worth staying, but I would love to welcome you in there to take me up on that gift of 7 essentially free days. I do have to charge $1 because otherwise the system won't let me just get you into all the things. So head to elevatedwithashley.com/membership or hit the link in the show notes. Come check us out. Come join us. It's an awesome community of women entrepreneurs who are building brands in a variety of niches. This is not just for coaches and course creators. Start out on the brand builders roadmap, see what you think, and we'd love to celebrate the journey with you along the way. All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and until next week, cheers to your impact. I'm popping back in here really quickly because I don't think it's any coincidence that I opened up Instagram and I saw this quote by Vex King. I don't know if you follow Vex King. I do. I really like all of his quotations. But the quote he shared today was, "Sometimes your life has to be completely shaken up for the dead leaves to fall off. What feels like destruction is often divine reconstruction." And I feel like that's just so aligned and fitting with today's episode. And I hope that the next time you feel like your life's getting shaken up, that you realize that a lot of times it gives you that clarity to see what you don't want to bring forward with you, what was always meant to drop off and leave behind, and to have a chance to reconstruct and rebuild in a really awesome way that's going to benefit you and others in the future. Okay, for real, that's all. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a ton of value. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you would rate, subscribe, and review this podcast. It really helps push out the message that I have to share with other female entrepreneurs. Thank you so much.